What's going on, guys? What's back? And today we got a brand new video with Celsius going bankrupt. They have filed for bankruptcy just like Voyager did, and they both did a Chapter 11, which is, I guess, just a reorganizing. I don't know exactly the in and outs of bankruptcy, but declaring bankruptcy anyway, not a very good thing to do. But I think Chapter 11 reorganizing, trying to bring back the company at some point down the line. Who knows what could happen at this point, but the crypto contagion going on, it seems like who's next to fall? Is it maybe BlockFi? Are we going to see them fall or just get bought by FTX? Or is another crypto firm going to go out on the last second? They're just going to string everyone along until they say, we're bankrupt. Anything could really happen here. We could see this is Celsius informs state regulators that is filing for bankruptcy immediately. They're doing the Chapter 11 stuff. This is basically them talking about it. But interestingly enough, the CEO had some weird things to say, saying they filed for bankruptcy. The CEO said in the statement that the move would strengthen the future of the company. How are you going to say that? Filing for bankruptcy isn't really a strong thing to do. I wouldn't really put those two together. It doesn't even matter what type of bankruptcy. If your company wasn't good enough and has to go through restructuring or bankruptcy to figure things out, then it's not a very good company, probably wasn't a very good idea, and you need to move on and start something new, fix it, and don't do the same things that you did before that got you in the situation. We can see from Dylan LeClaire, he has a great thread, continues talking about contagion, these crypto companies that have problems. Talks right here just about another maybe theory or the next falling crypto company that could cause problems. The co-founder of Almeida Research looks to be the CEO of the firm, who is the biggest creditor in the Celsius bankruptcy filing, with the firm holding several other key links to Almeida. So this is kind of the list here of creditors, Celsius's creditors, and you see Almeida, $12.8 million. So not the biggest. Near the top here, but there's one 81 million from Faros. I don't even know what they're supposed to be doing, but these guys 81 million, and maybe that spells trouble. If this is a crypto only kind of firm, probably gonna see bigger problems. But Almeida is Sam Bankman-Fried's like trading firm thing and like private equity deals. So they're all over the news and all over crypto, and they've been the biggest driving force of like bailouts. The big news, like them bailing out Voyager, that they're going to try to do, and it just seems like now maybe they're overextended. Maybe they don't really have the big liquid money backing that people really think they do. And just to dig deeper into Celsius, that they literally operated as a Ponzi scheme. Shocking that that happened. I mean, it just seems like Luna was just what everyone was banking on. And when that Ponzi stopped working, it collapsed. People lost tons of their money, including like regular people and including these firms that for some reason were dumb enough to stake money in there. I mean, they should have been smart enough to know it's a Ponzi scheme, it's going to collapse. But we can read the bottom part right here saying, as customers sought to withdraw their Ether deposits, Celsius was forced to buy Ether in the open market at historically high prices, suffering heavy losses. Faced with a liquidity crisis, Celsius began to offer double-digit interest rates in order to lure new depositors whose funds were used to repay earlier depositors and creditors, the exact definition of a Ponzi. Thus, while Celsius continued to market itself as a transparent and well-capitalized business, in reality, it had become a Ponzi scheme. Terrible to see that this is what they go to. As soon as liquidity crunch, it's just, let's try and get new people in so we can take new people's money, pay out the people that are trying to withdraw, and just screw a whole new group of people. So, never really trust these companies because they're not regulated. These really big companies and crypto lending firms and stuff, they don't have to be transparent. Even we saw in Voyager's case, a publicly traded company didn't have to really be transparent, and we couldn't really look into everything and see the problems going on. So this is just crazy. I mean, to be expected really out of Celsius as they were collapsing, but to just legitimately voluntarily turn yourself into a absolute Ponzi is crazy. And just looking at Almeida for another second here, we saw obviously they were a pretty big creditor, not, number one, but up there, 12.8 million for Celsius. And if we go and look at Voyager's Chapter 11 bankruptcy, it shows that Almeida Research owes them $376 million. So then the same company that many were hoping would bail out Voyager owes Voyager $376 million. So this is the kind of thing right here to show them the money, 376 million. So this is in thousands. So that's why it's million, not thousand. But they had so much debt from Voyager that, like, why do they have this debt? They're always saying how well capitalized they are, and they have so much money, and they're just so good and in great places. But why are they having all this ridiculous debt? And especially looking at Voyager's kind of counterparty here and their risk, Three Arrows Capital, $654 million. And then everything else here is not even close. I mean, Almeida, number two, but basically their entire basket of money where they're paying interest was in two companies. That is not risk management that everyone was talking about in Voyager. All these firms come out and say, we're the best at risk management. Our counterparty risk is top notch. We do the research. We know the risk. We're able to take great risk management, and we're not going to lose anything. But looking at these filings, you take a look under the hood, Three Arrows Capital had over half of all of their loans out. And if you put Three Arrows and Almeida together, it's almost their entire loans. These last 4 or 5 companies don't even come close to making up what 3AC and Almeida make up. So they're just straight up lying. They're lying to the public as much as they possibly can, while saying, we're the best and risk management's our thing, when almost all of their money's with 2 companies. If those 2 companies have problems, even in this case, one company, one firm had a problem that caused the collapse of Voyager. So they're not very good at risk management. And we might as well wrap this video up looking at the CEL token, because this is Celsius's bankruptcy, and this is their token that they used to kind of hang on for dear life so that they didn't have to pay out rewards in Bitcoin or Ether or USD or something. They could try and get people to leave their assets on Celsius, not withdraw them, and offer them an even higher rate if they wanted to get paid in the CEL token. And we can see, if we go to the day, it's down almost 20% now. If we go all time, you can see, it's just basically a collapse. And it was around $8. So from $8 to 75 cents, more than a 90% drop is just crazy. This is worthless. It's always been worthless. And like we saw with them being a Ponzi scheme, this was just another way for them to bring in their Ponzi economics so they could create a token out of thin air. And the owner, CEO of Celsius, pre-mined or pre-minted, however you want to do it, gave himself a bunch of the tokens and then paid out, some to people who were saying they would earn interest in CEL token because they wanted the higher rates. But the price is doing this and going up. It's introduced and people are getting paid in it and loving it and saying, oh my God, this is great. This whole ride up, the CEO was cashing out of CEL token, taking the money, putting it in his own pocket. So he was all set. And Celsius, the company, was screwed. And then all Celsius users were screwed. But, he's going to make out pretty good. So Celsius is going bankrupt. Game over for them. Game over for Voyager. Maybe BlockFi's next if they don't just get bought by FTX. But looking at Almeida and how maybe they're actually having liquidity problems, maybe FTX isn't as solid as everybody thinks. FTX does have a yield that they offer on their platform. So maybe there is a problem with FTX too. And if this keeps spreading and keeps bringing companies down, then maybe we see these titans of companies like FTX, which is the second biggest exchange in the world, go down. And that would be catastrophic and historic. And that would probably cause a lot of pain in the market. It's all just random, kind of, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. We'll see as time goes on. I do think FTX has lots of money and they should be fine. But if they're not, then things get pretty bad. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in my next